When the Preservation League was founded in 1974, it was thanks to a grassroots effort led by dedicated preservationists from around the state. The League's founders saw the need for private organization to provide a clear, unified voice for preservation in New York. Its purpose was to communicate preservation ideals and help shape federal, state, and local policies to encourage the protection, sensitive use, and creative reuse of historic properties.
There were a lot of threats to historic buildings. We had to create a new organization. There were no models. If there hadn't been a league, people who were concerned about preservation would have just continued to be operating on their own and not learning from other people. That was a very important part of the early years. One of our first big projects was saving a camp, Sagamore, one of the great camps in the Adirondacks.
The League managed to orchestrate a save of this property, which required making a change to New York State's constitution, which took 2 legislative sessions, et cetera. It was incredibly complicated. It took a really long time. And the League developed this extraordinary network of people and put itself on the map as a force to be reckoned with.
Preservation is about more than saving old buildings and preserving historic landscapes. It's about who we are saving them for and how these places support their communities now and into the future.
It must be more diverse. It must include other voices. It must include other people who look different, who are more representative of the variety of stories, people, skin colors, accents, and backgrounds that really made up the people of New York.
We see preservation as integral to tackling climate change and addressing the affordable housing crisis.
Communities across New York State are struggling with how to think about climate change and the impact that this is going to have on historic resources. The League's going to have to play a big role moving forward in helping these communities, municipalities, nonprofits, homeowners, to help them think about the future of how to even plan for climate change.
We need to have more in-depth conversation about how do we treat historic properties, how do we change them, how do we adapt them for a changing environment.
One of the next issues is going to be trying to figure out how preservation can couple more seamlessly with the creation of affordable housing. If we can get something done legislatively in that regard, that's going to be a big save, a big win.
And we know from 50 years of collaborative work across New York State that preservation brings people and communities together.
Upstate, downstate, New York City, and bring all these people together and be the center, the focus of the conversation about heritage and conservation and preservation, and what does it mean in New York State? It's just something that only the League have been able to do at that level.
It may look different depending upon who you are and what matters most to you, but the League is committed to a preservation movement that is truly for everyone.
Make the tent for preservation much bigger than it has been, and make every effort to make sure that everybody, whatever community they live in or where they're from, that preservation can be a real benefit to everybody.
In the future, I hope that preservation is an ethos, that preservation is something that's done by the entire community, not just by those people who consider themselves preservationists.
There is a constant need to continue to educate people and to provide new ideas and new mechanisms for preservation.
We hope you'll join us so our past has a future.
So our past has a future.
So our past has a future.